A little over a month ago, I purchased these weighted clothes. My idea was, unlike a weight vest that is concentrated in one area and is hard to keep tight on your body when doing dynamic movements, well, the weight on these clothes would be spread throughout the limbs more evenly, and the added weight would be more form-fitting. Now, after wearing these weighted clothes for an entire week, well, I had some weak results. However, I believed I was beginning to feel an adaptation, and I did not want to quit here. So I decided to continue training in these weighted clothes for an entire month. This time, I will tell you right now, there were significant results. But what's the catch? Was there a cost? And how high was I able to jump at the end of this 1 month? Let's find out. But you gotta focus. So real quick, if you're interested and you haven't seen it, the prelude to this video is I wore a weight suit for an entire week straight, where I basically keep this thing on for pretty much an entire week. Now jumping into this video, the difference is I don't keep this suit on throughout the day. I'm only using it during my plyometric training sessions. In fact, I've been doing a pre-warm-up for my plyometric training sessions on the trampoline and doing that without the suit, which is why I'm sweaty putting the suit on. And that's kind of downside number one. This thing is a little toasty, especially on a hot summer day, which is pretty much every session throughout this month. So with these weighted clothes, I've been doing 2 lower body sessions a week, and they are both pretty intense. Now, sled pushing and pulling has actually become a staple for one of these days a week for me. I have been finding that the pushes and pulls over time have helped my knees feel healthier and more like strong and solid, while also helping me develop more power in my glutes and hamstrings for that drive. Now, you would think an exercise like this, where I'm using some other form of external resistance, would make the feeling of the suit negligible. However, in my experience, that wasn't the case. In fact, nearly everything I did with these weighted clothes on became more difficult. It always felt as if I was moving through like a storm or high winds, you know, where you have to fight through the wind. That's kind of what it feels like wearing these clothes, and I think that's due to the weight being spread out on the limbs, which hopefully would positively play over into that adaptation process. Now, another staple exercise that I would actually do on both of my plyometric days a week, just in different forms, box jumps. I would typically always start with just some regular warm-up jumps, and then usually on the first plyometric day of the week, I would incorporate single leg box jumps. I felt like these helped me with that explosive stability. I've actually done these for many years, and they've always helped me with tricking and jumping higher in that aspect, but I felt like that would also help play over in any jump I was trying to do. On the second day of the week, I would typically implement depth jumps. This is where you jump off the box and then use your tendon muscle reflex to immediately jump back up on the box after you hit the ground. This is a very explosive movement, but I heard it could be extremely effective at helping increase jump height, but obviously you would want to be sure you were thoroughly warmed up first. Now, for all forms of these box jumps, I actually felt the added weight from the suit more in the arms than anything else. This might seem silly, but when you think about it, you actually use your arms a ton when you jump, or at least try to jump as high as possible. So I was hoping this little bit of added resistance to the arm motion would also help play over in a higher jump when I would finally take the suit off. From here, I would typically do a few sets of jumping switch lunges and or jumping bodyweight squats, focusing on timing, putting that jump power to the ground. And now, I never tried to fully exhaust myself here. In fact, I saved some energy for the final part of the indoor workout. But real quick, if you're looking for a bodyweight training program that is training with your body weight, check out my 12-week calisthenics program, Bodyweight Beast 2.0, onlykindsfitness.com, and use code FOCUS for 25% off. Thank you so much for your positive feedback. Back to the video, the final indoor part of my workout, the rim touch attempts. For ultimately, my goal with jumping higher is to be able to dunk a basketball for the first time in my life. I just realized I was messing up my setup. I want to cross this one hand back, and then on my step out to block, that's when I swing my arms back and then lunge. Yeah, bro, there's a lot more wrong with your setup than just your arms. Anyways, I did know this. I know my blocking and my leading leg and trailing leg were off in the jump. My setup is definitely something I need to work on going forward, but pretty much throughout this entire weight suit experiment, I just did brute force attempts. So, hey, maybe after this, once you see my improvements, if I fix my setup even more, oh man, just wait and see. Anyways, I would typically spend 15 to 20 minutes just doing raw jump, trying to grab the rim attempts. Now my all-time best dunk attempt jump ever was last year before I had a back injury when I was 10 pounds lighter and also training plyometrics pretty intensely. This year, after a winter bulk where I put on over 10 pounds, before training with the suit, my best jump ever was where I just barely got my middle finger to tap the rim. Now doing these rim touch attempts with the suit were very humbling. At first it felt like the extra resistance was decreasing my jump height around an inch. I felt like I wasn't even close to touching the rim. But staying consistent wearing the suit and doing this form of training, over the next couple of sessions I felt like I was adapting to the extra weight. And around 20 days in, I was able to get my jump height with the suit on to match my all-time best jump height post-bulk before wearing these weighted clothes. At this point, I was starting to get very excited that this whole entire concept was working.
What was that?
Now typically I would finish these plyometric days with sprints, whether it be hill sprints or sprints on a field. I would actually do my first 2 to 3 sets with the weight suit and then actually take it off and do my final 2 to 3 sets without the weight suit. Now sometimes I would just leave it on throughout the entire session, but those sessions where I did take it off, dang, let me tell you, even though I was exhausted, it was the end of the workout, I felt like I could fly.
It's like maybe this time, if I keep training with it, really get used to it, when I take it off next time, I'm gonna be soaring.
Things were looking up, but that's not to say there weren't downsides and some setbacks. First of all, wearing all of this was extremely hot. Just wearing the long sleeve weighted clothing was hot enough, but as you have been seeing, I've also been throwing a sweatshirt over the top of everything, mainly because just wearing the suit looked, well, interesting at the least. I mean, it kind of looks like I just got done at a sci-fi convention or something like that, which would be cool, whatever. I just didn't want to attract much attention, let's just put it that way. So yeah, I always wore a sweatshirt with the weight suit when in the gym, which I guess you can think of as a bonus because it probably added an extra pound. But anyways, first of all, with all of the heat and all of the sweating, I typically felt pretty electrolyte depleted towards the end of my training sessions.
I need some electrolytes.
This wasn't too big of a problem at first. I have been taking my nutrition pretty seriously and I felt like I was able to replenish between training sessions pretty well. However, with it getting really hot under the suit and the suit being polyester, let's just say I was getting a little bit concerned about my jewels. You know, that area on the male body that likes to be under body temperature so that it could function properly? That's what I'm talking about.
Ooh.
Anyways, a little over 20 days in, on a training day, when running my final sprint, I unfortunately felt a pop in my left hamstring. Horrified at first, it started to get more and more sore by the minute. I thought I did something catastrophic. However, over the next week or so doing my recovery protocols, things seemed to go pretty much back to normal. The only thing is, I think this minor setback was due to sweating so much because I was so hot while wearing the suit, and I had some kind of electrolyte imbalance, and trying to run a full out sprint at the very end, well, it was just too much for my hamstring, and it either minorly pulled or just like cramped up or something like that. I'm all better now. I'm just playing. I am better. I am feeling better. It still does feel a little tight, but manageable. Now, another downside with these weighted clothes is the fact that this entire suit only adds about 4 pounds.
4 pounds total, that's it? Huh.
Whereas a weight vest, at least the ones I have, range anywhere from 10 pounds up to 40 pounds. Was only 4 additional pounds going to be enough? That was a question I had in the back of my head this entire month. Hopefully I wasn't wasting my time, for when wearing this weight suit that entire week straight before starting this month, I didn't see any significant improvements to my jump. But with that being said, I tried to stay positive and kept powering forward. Week after week, I kept applying my best effort to my plyometric training sessions with the weighted suit. Before I knew it, 1 month was up. It was time to see if there were any significant results.
This is insane. I don't know how I feel today, man. I'm freaking nervous here. I can't say I feel like extra snappy today. I don't know, man. Shoot, this is nuts, I know.
This is it. 1 month since we started the 1 month journey, plyometrics and jumps and etc. and all that crap in the weight suit. A little bonus on top of that, today is perhaps one of the hottest days of the year so far. But why do I even have this on? I'm wearing this, I'm warming up in the gym with this. I'm gonna do a few practice jumps and then I'm gonna take it off just to get that shock, you know, weight on, weight off. Without further ado, it is time. So on the day I took the results, I actually went through my standard workout, but I cut the number of reps and sets in half. I did this because I felt like it was going to help me warm up or prime myself to be able to jump at full intensity. Yo, new net. I gotta be honest, I was kind of getting afraid of my finger getting stuck in that old broken net. But hey, shout out to whoever changed that. Thank you so much. I even did my first few attempts of rim touches, still wearing the weighted clothing to further get in the groove and make sure I was fully warmed up. Not trying to lose too much energy, but not wanting to miss my peak warm up, I waited until my jumps with the weight suit were pretty much reaching my all-time highs with the weight suit. And then at that point, ladies and gentlemen, I was ready to take it off and see how high I could actually jump.
Oh, this ain't even fair anymore.
So yes, right away, not even with a run-up, I was already touching the rim. And then with a decent run-up, that's where I noticed significant improvement.
I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. Significantly better, no doubt, consistently too. Multiple attempts. Even on the bad attempt, I still touched it. I don't even know what to say right now. I'm just so stoked right now. That's it. You know what? Road to Dunk is on. You know what? No. Project Dunk. Let's call it Project Dunk. It is on.
So there you have it, guys, training with these weighted clothes, aka micro-loaded clothing. In my opinion, I really believe it made a difference. I mean, the results, like, they speak for themselves. I've never been able to jump that high. I've never reached that high over the rim. Now on top of this, a little bonus, right after I recorded those results, I was so stoked. I went to the park to go run some sprints to finish kind of the workout, and I decided to bust a few tricks. And well,
How about that landing? Yeah? Oh yeah. Dude, winning.
it has been a while since I've gotten two, and I know that wasn't like an official two where I basically land back on the same foot I took off with on the second one, but that, in my opinion, was getting it back more so than I have been in the last year or two, and that's at the end of a workout after all those jumps and stuff, so that had me pretty stoked. Are we gonna get back into tricking? Are flips coming back? Are we gonna finally hit 3 gainer switches? Cork, swing through cork? Whew. Man, I gotta stay focused, alright? Road to Dunk or Project Dunk. Okay, anyways, back to this whole clothing thing. Based on what you saw, based on how I was training, I truly believe the micro load actually helped me progress further than I would have if I wasn't micro loading this entire time. Now, with all these positive results, me actually jumping higher, there is a catch. My weight on that test day was down. Way down from peak bulk. About 196 pounds on that day. But my highest jump ever from before, I was under 190 pounds. I was like 188, 189 pounds. That the last time I was able to just hit the rim with almost 3/4 of an inch over the rim. So first of all, that was way lighter than I am now, even though I am lighter than peak bulk. But also from all my experience, when I have cut down in weight and then went to go jump thinking I'm gonna jump way higher, usually it isn't that significant, because I always notice usually with a decrease in weight, definitely does come a loss in strength sometimes, to a certain extent. Sometimes those first couple of pounds I still have all the strength, but then if I'm cutting even further, getting a little bit more depleted, you know, sometimes the strength does go away and it's like I just stay even with the weight after a certain point. However, how I think this actually helped me keep a lot of my strength is the fact that it kept a couple of extra pounds on me as I've been cutting down to currently now still around 196, 197 pounds. It's like it tricked my body, tricked my nervous system into thinking I was 4 pounds heavier while training and then taking it off, you know, after adapting over those several training sessions. I truly believe it made a difference into jumping higher. Also, one more thing I do want to point out, I really think, and or at least just really appreciate and like that extra microload on the limbs. It's like more spread out. It feels like it's actually weight that's like a part of your body, or at least like part of your clothes. And I just like that a lot better. I'm so surprised more brands haven't made stuff like this, because they should get on it, because I really do think this is a great idea. Anyways, I do have to give a shout out to this brand and how it held up. Amorpho right here. Shout out to Amorpho because your product's pretty awesome. It is a little pricey though, I'm not gonna lie. And I do have to admit also, it has held up very well washing it. I've washed it every single time after every training session. And these are the pants right here. You just flip them inside out, you throw them in the washer. I've washed it like everything else. I washed it with everything else. None of the knobs have fallen off or anything like that. And yeah, it totally is holding up, still has a stretch. And I feel like it's totally good. Yeah, some of the text is kind of coming off here, you can see. But like, who cares, right? As long as the knobs don't come off. Don't worry, I'm wearing other pants by the way right now, so yeah. Yeah, I do have to give a shout out to them. I used the crap out of these things over the last month plus, and it's held up. Now, like I did say, the only downside to me, just something I'm a little bit, I guess, crazy about, is the fact that these are polyester. However, I gotta say, if this was made with any other materials, I don't think it would hold up as well. But yeah, microloading, in my opinion, I think it definitely works. It is only 4 pounds, but I definitely believe that actually made a difference. Going forward, will I continue to train with this? You bet you. In fact, I think I'm gonna go have a session today and train with these in the gym, and then, you know, maybe take them off and do the sprints, maybe some tricking later. Dude, gotta fix my technique though. I know a lot of you guys out there are like, dude, bro, your technique sucks. And I know it does, but I'm working on it now. I'm gonna work on it now. We're gonna combine everything and hopefully have some success. Anyways, forgive me for kind of going all over the place with that breakdown there at the end. Hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned. More videos coming out. Peace. I will see you all in the next video.